full lead is starting to rear its head.
Yeah, like Encoy are doing a really good job of punishing those flashes that we talked about earlier. The fact that Yike and Vladdy had no flashes means that it's really difficult for them to actually start any sort of fight without Kana. So once you see Kana on a wave, Encoy know they're relatively fine to do what they want.
It's Poppy OP. That's what I've been saying.
Escape the super. You got the speed.
You know, Noah started with the 10 gifted. Much love, thank you for the 10 gifted.
Trying to lock down Encoy when you don't have that ease of access with the Annie just makes things really tough.
No flash from Annie as well. That's always an issue, but Vladdy has it now. Leandro's picked up. So, 2 items here on the Annie. Dagger, I'm just waiting for the big fight, because we've had a lot of skirmishes this game. We've had a lot of, like, picks. But we haven't got the fight that we deserve. Outside of that one moment where, I mean, that wasn't a fight. That was like, that was like a wave. I don't know what happened up at that topside brush, but that was like 2 events rolled into one. But outside of that, yeah, not much fighting outside of much of just forcing picks.
Yeah, Encoy having the gold lead, though, means they will hit those third item breakpoints.
So when does KC hit the scaling point where they're useful?
For the next objectives.
Because both sides are losing. Jinx is losing mid push. They're pushed in all 3 lanes.
It's hard to contest as KC.
And enemy team has Severe, the most OP champ in the game, next to Poppy and Sion, I've decided.
Same way, look at the Annie in the mid lane, who still can do her job, essentially, but won't one-shot anyone realistically from this position. So things are getting easier.
Ulti. There's a pick off, and Kana just caught out. Yes, it's ulti, but where's he going to go? There's a wall in the way. Decimating Smash won't buy time for anything. And Encoy using the tools you wanted to see this game, and how easy was that?
Yeah, and it's going to continue to be his Vladdy now in trouble.
Vladdy will have a stun in a moment, but getting out first is the trick. Flashes over, won't have that for an engage, and like, this feels like role reversal. Encoy have come into game 2, starting to smack the boots.
It's a really good understanding of what tools KC need to find fights and find a way back into the game. And Encoy are just pushing that button.
Well, Annie has no flash.
Use the flash. Use
and
the flash,
is down
get
60 CS.
And making it tough for Encoy to gain access anywhere.
Why has been so slow? Because Encoy have just been so controlled in growing this gold lead.
How will Encoy throw if they want? Unthrowable game.
262 CS.
Enemy mid is
at
completely
24
useless.
minutes in the game. I'll raise you another. Super's at 272 at 24 minutes. They raised the Poby mechanic, the Chovy mechanic, and said, watch this, hold my beer. I feel like, I mean, for Super and JoJo,
there's a reason why Sivir owns the most CS ever in a game.
You know? Very easy. Look at that. Oh, enemy camp.
I didn't actually see it. It just disappeared too quick.
Yeah, that was a couple of autos. LDR on the way too, by the way. Meanwhile, Kalist, who started out this game great, is just trying to ramp up to maybe an Infinity Edge. I mean, I don't think he's definitely not going LDR third. But get a bit more excess damage so that if there is a
sitting
fight,
on a tier 2,
reset,
20 minutes straight.
Be able to pump through some of the numbers. Because for now, it definitely feels like it'd be super favored with those expensive items that he had so early on. But Dagda, Baron is now spawned. Dragon in a minute 30. Let's get the party started. I see 2 team fighting 80 carries.
What do you do as KC? I think you just fucking... I mean, every single time you go 5 men in a lane, the other lanes are cooked. Look at top tier 2's dead or what?
Awkward position.
He's birds of a feather though. He'll be fine. He baits it out, sits in a brush. Yike is chasing.
Vladdy's there as well.
He has no flash though. Roche just going to escape, and look, JoJo's like,
top tier 2, yummy. Later.
Here we go. Turret's going to drop down with 1 grub, and
now you have to catch top, and now you lose mid push. Now you're losing bot push, now you have to go bot. Now you lose bot push, you lose Drake.
Baron's now spawning with top wave, and not having as much reliability with that turret gone. Makes things a little bit harder to control Baron's side of the map.
Encoy trying to finish the push-ins of each of the waves, and then they'll be looking for the resets for the 2 objectives. You should have Super's third item coming through. You've already got the third there for JoJo alongside the Zhonya's Hourglass halfway to completion. It's going to be a tough fight for KC. I think they need to have Vladdy in a really strong spot where he can flank, get a multi-man ultimate off, and they immediately burst people out and get Kalist on the resets. Otherwise, I just don't see a way that they can bring this one back.
Mortal Reminder just picked up, by the way, and that makes it even harder to have that conversation about KC finding a fight, because that pickaxe is not an Infinity Edge for Kalist. Mortal Reminder, the healing cut that's going to come through. Things like Redemption as well, lacking a little bit of value, I guess. But more importantly, depending on what that 4th item is for Kalist, I'm going to ignore for now. Kana is just poked out a little bit. Good seismic shot.
The clear damage is actually high.
Even into that tank. He has to flash over. KC is a unit. All 5 of them get over with a 4-man blast cone. And Super, meanwhile, is just la la la. He's playing Despacito on Spotify, and he is just chilling.
And Jojo's about to do the same in the bottom. Actually, not going to do it in the bottom wave. Maybe looking for the wall here.
They're actually going to test this.
Not a wave. Not my problem.
Maybe they can cook something. Not sure.
Yike goes in. Flashes burn. Yike doesn't get anything.
Oh,
with
the
the
dive
ulti.
onto Kalista was
And
awful, but it's going to work maybe.
He starts shredding out as finally
The redemption is fucking 4 business days late. Alright, we go game 3. God, the games today are fucking sleeper, man. What is this? What is this shit?
Game 3, I didn't even know.
The TP from Mirwin wants to try and look for the end here. Kana gonna have to desperately
the Severe, I'm telling you, chat, I'm telling you, Severe OP.
With a flick back is super to shred through next wave.
Yeah, the dive was okay, but I think Ambessa ult cancelled Talia shove because Jojo flashed in and tried to. Oh my god, it's not over. Jojo flashed in and tried to combo, but it didn't work.
Move over towards the Baron. Make sure they can pick that one up. TP to secure it from Alvaro as well. Dragon is still
I
there,
didn't say game of the year. What is this?
Super easy, and this will be taken mega quick. And you know, Kalist does have his ulti, so wait, hold, wait, Kalist ulti, wait, Kalist. What's the value here? If he waits a little bit, Mirwin might die, but with an IE, no, there's no but.
Yeah, Jinx ult should have been fired, but I guess he wants to save it.
For now, that rocket never comes.
The dive got kind of cooked by, I think, Ambessa ult cancelled Talia W.
But Alvaro flash in immediately onto Kalista.
Doesn't really matter though.
Absolutely destroyed the exhaust as well, thanks to the unsealed spellbook, and there's just nothing that you can do.
They didn't even order that much. I just saw him W and then the flash, I think, from Yike was to get back in the fight. And the
oh my god, hide on bush. Oh my god, Kalist clicked the ward though, so they saw them. Oh my god.
Expected
Horror!
And I guess Super did enough for me. KC still fighting
and
in front of this dragon that was not
are we
taken.
cooked now? Oh, nice flash by Bloody. Alvaro's dead.
They try something. Kalist does get a reset. Kana is the trade-off though. Both AD carries
Kalist damage is not high.
Kalist with an IE feeling a little bit more confident.
You said this game was a potential League Awards match of the year. I did not say that. I did not say that.
I'll take the support down for 500.
Yeah.
Now, next question, Dagda. At 10,000 gold lead and soul point, to what can KC find to bring back in this game?
I don't think there's much. At this stage, you're about to lose your base. You've got Baron and 3. Oh, yeah, there you go.
Bloody.
Oi, Ambessa.
Easy. Yikes now here. Mirwin thinks, hang on a minute, I've got energy. Let's find out what he can do with the sledgehammer down. He's going to be engaged on, but even with the passive, there's 3 people to commit. Mirwin's taking a while to die. Re-engage from Yike. He flashes. Now thinks about going back in. Mirwin backs one. Takes another. And you know what? Let's go again. With Super there, there's nothing we can't achieve. And even that's too bloody hard for KC this game.
They can't get anything. Mirwin dodging everywhere, getting the shield, and Super shows up in the nick of time as well. MKOI, they have options, but there's only one left for KC, and it's to watch as your base goes down.
It's a flash engage to end this one. We're going to a game 3 in our match of the week. Both teams have put on a masterclass, but it's MKOI in game 2 that have once again arisen. It's becoming a trend so far in summer. The Spaniards like
I don't know. Sion is OP, yeah, but Kana Sion into an Ambessa main, maybe not the best.
Ladies and gentlemen, game 3
because Mirwin is an Ambessa main.
In KC, right after this short break.
You said this game would cure. Shut up. Why is FearX in your DK Diables Kids vs FearX is game of the year? No one can even fathom how bad DK is. OME Tabubu. Bro, why are you even here? Why are you awake? Isn't it fucking like 5 AM there? FearX isn't playing for like a fucking week. The fuck are you doing? He's just backseating in the chat. Leave my region alone. Why do you have to bring DK into this as well? Follow up, fire up the Hollow Knight. We need some pace. Yeah, the pace is lacking a bit. Where is the pace at? Fight Zote right now. Think I have time for one Zote fight? Oof, I don't know. One Zote fight, think I have time? I don't remember the things. I don't remember the things. I don't remember the attack pattern. Oh my god, I'm trolling. Is this... Why am I reading chat? Why are you saying hold? All you're doing is holding to laugh at me. Chat, I can't play without audio. 1 HP in a dream, baby. A dream. Okay, I don't know why I'm playing this. I can't play without audio. I can't do it. I'm insane at that game, but without audio I can't focus. No! 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 No!
Enemy high, okay?
Yeah. I'm not with you, Super.
Oh my
I can
god.
dive with him.
Has flash?
Chat, what are those things called? Are they called Magdalens? Oh my god, bro, Magdalens are so good. I want to eat a Magdalene.
What the f***?
That is close. Someone yings. They have a reset, okay? They. Can you end me, guys? I think so.
I don't know, but I want to keep playing. It's kind of fun.
A very floral language here on the side of MKOI, but rightfully so. Honestly, they come back, but they just don't come back. They smashed KC in this game. Absolute dominance right off the bat.
And this is something that we've kind of started to note about this team, is that they do have a lot of mental resilience. They can bounce back from series like that. They've had a lot of things go the distance. Now, they've needed to at points, but the fact that they can is definitely a very strong string to have on their bow.
I mean, absolutely, especially after what happened once again in an early game from Alvaro Super that just doesn't go their way.
Maddie? Is Maddie here?
Time in a row
It's
where
called
we've
Madeline.
Seen them have issues in
No, it's
the
called
early game.
Magdalene,
This time
isn't it?
around, Alvaro
Magdalene.
Fleshton dies. 3 kills goes over to KC.
Magdalene.
What happens?
I found it.
Super doesn't care. Like, he's still in a position where he's so good at finding resources, becoming such a big threat in the late game, and still being so, well, threatening to the enemy team.
Absolutely. Naimira, you were saying that you expect a bit some adjustments on this side of MKOI when it comes to draft and making things more simple. Did it come off of that?
Oh, it is written Madeline.
Part of it did.
Okay.
You're right. I found it.
There's a lot which
Oh my god, those things go crazy.
Mirwin being a better matchup, and then also
They
getting
are
ahead
insane.
of that matchup was really, really crucial. In fact, actually, we have some stats about what happened with solo lanes in general, which I'd really like to bring up here, because at the start of things, at 8 minutes, things were going okay.
It's fine.
Yeah.
And then between about 10 and 14 minutes, well, this happens with the stats at that point. A couple of waves were missing, as we have another graphic of the next, of the stats of 14.
Yeah, they recovered, basically.
They more than recovered. I think KC ended up losing a couple of waves on the side
What
lane,
is this
and
emote?
the CS differences went up to about plus 30 in each solo lane. There you go there. Went up to kind of like a crazy amount beyond the 14 mark. Went insane in both solo
Someone
lanes.
first time messages asking French people here. There's probably some French people in the chat.
For themselves, right? And then out
That'd be
of
French
nowhere,
people.
they're just in a position where we're trying
There's
to
a lot
accelerate
of
the game.
people
We need
from a
to
lot of
find
different
picks,
places
but
in the
so
chat.
often they try to go for fight where the MKOI member gets out, and suddenly it's exactly as you say. They're dropping side waves, or Kana is getting forced.
Where
out of
are
the
you
way. He
from,
needs
chat?
souls
Say
from
it
down.
now.
And I also have a skirmish that I would love to bring out, because I feel like that's really where MKOI comes back into this game. KC is in a position where they're once again going for these things where we can find a fight in our own jungle.
What?
But really what's been happening here while you're seeing this rollout is that top wave is pushing in, mid wave has been pushed in by Super as well. So MKOI is still in a position while a team fight is happening. They're
Indonesia.
still actually getting
I
things
have
for
been to
themselves.
Indonesia.
And as the clip roll out and as KC again gets over Celis, this is still once again where it gets super spicy, right? We find a pick on Elyoya, but it's actually a 3 versus 4. Super has pushed in again. The fight becomes way too frustrating to watch because Vladdy is coming in to flank, and at this point in time, everyone's out. But it's not just a fight. It's everything they get off this, right? They get the kills. Look at your screen right now. Mid lane is being pushed right now. Look at top lane right now. They're getting Herald. The wave is coming in for top side as well. Now they get a turret. So it's like, it's not just the fight, it's everything that they get on the map after as well. And that is what KC couldn't find for themselves in this matchup.
Frustrating to watch. Imagine frustrating to play this
I mean,
as
a
well,
bit
because
possibly.
I felt like after that, Naimira, you said it. No vision at all on the side of KC.
Have you ever been to
They tried
playoffs?
to make things happen
I have
on the map,
actually.
but it's
NLC
just not
playoffs. I
possible
qualified
anymore
with
to
my
catch up
Brown
with
this
that
year.
Yeah, there was a point, I don't know, a couple of minutes after that, where I was thinking, well, they don't have a single ward even into their own
Why don't you
jungle.
make
They
a
have couple
Rocket League
just
pro
over the
team?
walls, just into
I
very,
mean, I
very
could,
shallow into their own
but
jungle.
I'm not
If
looking
the
to go
game
pro
has
in
got to
Rocket
that
League
point
right
when you're
now.
against
I'm
an
kind of
Ambassador which can ult you out of Fog of War,
I'm kind of enjoying the league
kind of
side of things. So
we
yeah.
even saw the Sivir Rakan engaging from 2 full screens away onto the the poor Annie in mid lane. Became an unplayable game. Really impressed by MKOI's ability to shut out the game once they got a hold of that lead.
I don't know
What's
many
next
people in the
now?
Rocket League scene, you know.
Because
I don't know who
wanted
I'd want
see
to be my
game 3. I'm just
teammates.
curious to see what it's going to be about, because game 1, domination on the side of KC. I'm going to call in the domination in game 2 as well for MKOI, even if it didn't begin the way they wanted to. They stopped KC completely, stopped their way of coming back in the game. What do we want to see here in game 3, and what have we learned so far from both of these teams in this specific matchup?
I mean, I think those solo lane stats from the
Wait,
8
there was
minutes
a
to
mini
14
F?
minutes
What the
where
fuck?
gold
There
lead
actually
went
was a
from,
mini
well,
F of
whatever,
us.
to massive lead in both cannot happen again. I need to see better side laning and better side laning matchups for the side of KC. We know that Can is fantastic at playing through them. I think he's more than enough to put down Mirwin if he's ahead like that. And on the other side, we saw what MKOI get when they get ahead of that. You cannot allow side lanes to get ahead on either side, really.
I mean, for me as well, so much is actually about Super in general. When you look back at spring playoffs, this was the guy that was making sure that his team got over the finish line in some of the dire team fights against KC. I think if you can shut down Super, then the game is so much easier. But that's such a hard task to accomplish, because this is an AD carry
I wanna hear a
who
good
does
joke.
so
No.
well with limited
I wanna see a good
resources,
draft.
even when playing from behind. And I think if you're looking for a star member on MKOI right now to get them over this hurdle, that's KC.
Do you think
He's
that
the
you will
guy you're
push to
looking
other
at.
games
I
if you
wanna
go
ask
into
about
being a
mid lane,
full
though,
team
because
owner?
we entered this way talking about the super mid lane clash. We've talked about this before the series
no.
as well, seeing
Probably
where
not.
these
I don't know.
mid laners
Maybe.
rank
I have
in
no
the
idea.
top of the LEC. Are they
I
on
don't
top
want
of their
to. I don't
form?
want to
In
give
this
up being a
series, at
streamer
least?
just to be a team owner. I want to be a streamer.
Vladdy is struggling a little bit in some of these matchups right now. I need to see a little more from him. We know he has an incredible
There's no
ceiling.
giving up.
I don't think he's showing us that right now.
No, I mean, I agree with Naimera. I still think Jojo is the better between the two of these mid laners right now, but I also think on the champion like Annie, right,
We'll
it
see,
looked good in
we'll
the early
see.
game, became harder after. It might be time
But
to go
coaching,
back
I
to
think
what
I
he
might
really
have to
has
give
as
up,
comfort.
because
We
that
saw
shit
a lot
takes a
of
lot of
mid
time.
laners in spring. That's not what I see as comfort from Laddie. I want the control mages. I want him to take lane
Maybe
priority.
if I was an
want him
assistant
to play
coach
around
and
with
I
his
could
team,
help like
but it's been a while since
a
I've
couple
seen him
days a
have
week
that priority.
instead of
Who takes next game?
be the
MKOI.
lead, because I feel like I would,
Great hesitation.
No,
Please
MKOI.
elaborate on
you
that.
know,
Why,
making
why, why?
presentations
I
and
generally just think
meetings
that
and
this is a team that's
one-on-ones
now
and all that
coming in
stuff.
with momentum. I think
Takes
that
a lot of time.
KC really struggled to find their main win conditions in the mid game.
Maybe I should be
early
an-
game
I need
can
to be an
often go
assistant
either
too.
way, but at the end of the day, I think the best team that wins is often the one that plays the best mid to late game, and I think MKOI can be that team.
I'm sold, Naimira.
I think KC have had some really good look-ins as well, because I look at MKOI and not all of their drafters convinced me in the way that the
Because we
last
got to
one
keep
has.
up the
They
Sally
do have
drafts.
those early
We got to
losses,
keep
which
that up.
we've
You're
seen
not
occasionally from
escaping
bot
that.
lane. I think KC are so dominant when they
I
get
thought
the
he,
carries
for
ahead
some
too.
reason, I thought he had a
I think
pair of
MKOI,
scissors
their
and he was
drafts are not
cutting his
quite
jersey.
dialed in
Why
enough
did I
for me
think
just
that?
yet, and I think KC can use that small advantage and take the win.
We'll see who's right at the end of this, but before that, before we head into this game 3 in our match of the week, we have Shox standing by with Skane, MKOI supporter here. So let's see what he thinks about this series so far.
You should
Yeah,
retire
the
Unk and give
flying
us the channel.
reporter is flying for sure. What? I can hear you already. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Qué tal?
Oh, ¿qué tal? Well, pretty nervous because it's third game and because you are here, so pretty nervous.
I understand it. But listen, our analysts
Was?
said that they think that MKOI is going to take it, that they think that their mid to late game is better. What is your analysis?
I mean, I think that we only win because of instincts sometimes, no? They say that, so I think that we have like good instincts for third game and we can make the whole thing.
It's true. When we looked at this weekend about what MKOI could do for the rest of this year, we talked a lot about Supa. Do you feel he is the key element that is getting better and better, and also in this matchup?
I think that Supa has been like the most consistent player. Like actually the team fight on the jungle on the top side was really good with the Ghost, and he got the actually 2K lead. It was really insane. And yeah, I think that he's like the best performer of the team right now, 100%.
Okay. Thank you very much. Muchas gracias a ti, and back to you.
Boy, sometimes just a team that has feeling, Dag. Sometimes it's a team that just got to feel it out. I like that from Skate. I like rearrange words from yourself, from myself rather. Dagda, Hysterics, we're going to run you through and drop my toothpick. It's a rough
You actually
day.
just threw it at me.
I didn't mean to pierce you. You missed that one. The games have been slow in some regard. Like there's been some nice fights, but like mid-game last game was quite slow. It took a while to ramp up until Super.
I want to see some degeneracy, but I feel like Rise is the most OP champ.
MKoy are ahead, and they just naturally won it out. So I'm hoping we ramp a little bit earlier in this game, like get a couple more land drops than we're used to, because the first 15 minutes.
Why are you never in the studio anymore? Because I don't live in Germany
I
anymore.
think the problem was, well, not the problem. It was just that MKoy were just playing their comp exactly how they wanted to play it, right?
That's also true,
Get push mid, set up vision, fish for picks, and play around Jojo in the side lane. It worked out fantastically for them for a large portion of that game. And that is really why we didn't get a huge amount of input from KC, because it was MKoy very much dictating the way that this game was going to be played out. For KC, in game one, we saw them take control nice and early and then be able to run that into a very strong mid to late
All right,
game.
we're into draft.
They kind of need to find that early game success
We're
again,
into draft.
so they're not just
We
getting
made it.
outplayed by MKoy on
We
the
made
side.
it.
And because it's a game 3, we get the funk house music for Pick Ban, our best Pick Ban song that we have in the LEC. Enjoy it. Dag just thrown away my toothpick, so I'm not getting that off the ground. Not that I probably would. Anyway, hygiene's important, ladies and gentlemen. Jace has gone again from Kana, a priority ban that he must not have, says MKoy.
Trundle ban, Jace ban, Gwen ban. Okay, Rise open still, Varus open still, Pantheon open still, Wukong open still, Varus out.
Yeah, I think moving back towards
Wukong Pantheon Rise.
Be the call.
Get the EU tree.
But I think it's just a strong
Maybe
pick,
Koi has
and
to
EU
trade.
jungler's quite good at it, especially in controlling
Because
the
Pantheon
team
Rise
fights
are
around
up. If you
objectives.
ban one, you lose.
Pantheon is the other one that we could potentially see.
Type
but
1 if
definitely
Caedrel is
it's
the
been
best
teetering
streamer
down
ever.
The priority list, but as we've gone through
What?
further into summer.
Yep. Like Wukong being away from that, I mean, we're just experimenting at this point.
Vi is the other one.
Yeah,
that might be banned here.
Why is there so many twos?
The one, isn't it? Is that going to be taken away? Final ban is going to be Brom. Yeah, Vi's up and available. Is it first pickable for KC? Like,
Vi, yeah,
do
but
we feel
Pantheon open.
confident on
Rise
Yike
open.
on
Rise,
Vi?
Rise. Hello.
See,
Hello.
there is a
Rise.
opportunity. Okay, yeah, they're just going to
Oh
go for it.
my
I was
god,
gonna say,
they
Vi
took
does
Vi
so
for
much damage
Yike
to
over
Maokai,
denying
spend
Rise
it
from Jojo Pyun.
After Vi's gone in.
Yep.
And
I
separate
guess
Vi,
because
so you
Vladdy's
deal with
gonna
the
play
Vi, and
Orianna
then
into it.
The rest of the team afterwards.
But isn't
But happy
Jojo
to
a
go with
Rise
the Vi.
main?
Maybe we get the answer.
I don't know what his
with
win
the
rate on it
Maokai coming
is.
through afterwards, but we'll have to see what the game plan is, because a lot of those early damage dealers.
I mean, Nautilus is quite strong with Brown ban. There's the Pantheon.
Have been taken off the board.
Yeah.
Pantheon is going to say is the last
Am I
one
missing
that
something?
remains.
Rel is open.
And looks like that'll be the
Alistar, Poppy are out.
Vi for
Ooh,
Yike
Rel is
after
kind of
35
broken, yeah.
games, 54% win rate, and that people might say, oh, yeah, that's fine. But
Yike Vi.
considering how many games he's played,
Are you going to take the Rise? They match jungle, so they don't have 2 pryos, they only have 1.
70+% win rate with high game density. So
They take the
Vi
Rel.
is definitely one of his weaker champs. As you already mentioned, Pantheon. Rel gets paired up against it with Alvaro. I like Alvaro's Rel.
What
I
does-
think when
what
he's
does
on the
Jojo
engaged
have
tool
into
that gets
Rise?
impressed at first, you
I guess he
always feel
plays the
good
Orianna
about
side.
him starting fights.
On the upside, I'm not really sure what you want to
Guess
try
he
and
could
go
go
for as an
Cassio.
answer. Maybe it's just the
Rakan's out, so you can't go Xayah Rakan.
for the backline. Also, Senna does
what
start
are you
to
picking
rise
to
up
Rel?
party in these sort of situations, because you've got
Cassante
an AD
for
damage
Kana.
dealer. I was going to say you could take
Mirwin's a
something
Cassante
that's
main, so
bit
that's a
more of
denial pick.
carry in the top lane for
And Nico
Kana,
support.
but
I like
of course,
that.
Nico still available.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big one to bypass as well. I'm surprised we get it in game 3, but it has
Could
been
take
banned away a
Kai'Sa
few
here.
times.
Not bad actually, Kai'Sa here.
2, I believe.
Could
That's
take
what,
Xayah
that's 3.
into Vi, but
now that we're in this final game,
not sure if you'll find a
what
good AD.
carry do we get? Xayah self-pill you
To
talked
ban.
about before.
Jhin
and
kinda
so good
sucks.
against
Cork is
Vi.
okay.
Jhin also has a lot of range, so it feels like there's a couple of good options.
It's either Rise, Galio, or it's an
I
80
think
carry.
Corky also up there
It's
if
an
you
AD
want to
carry.
try and
Yeah,
go
Xayah.
for something that we've seen a lot of. More
Maybe
aggressive
Jhin
carries
ban
go
is
for,
pretty
and
good.
not to say that Super is
Ezreal
aggressive,
ban,
just mean like
sure.
Noah, who wants to really dominate lane, has been tending more towards the
I
Corky.
mean, Super isn't aggressive.
Yeah,
AD
I think
carry.
Galio is great for
Anything
Koi.
aggressive, don't worry
Oh,
about
it's
that.
banned. I think Rise is great for Koi.
But yeah, I think you're on both sides. You're
It
pretty
might
happy
be a
with what you
Victor
got.
or
Targus
Orianna trade
had a
if that gets
fantastic
banned.
engage on the Nico last weekend.
What does
which
Mirwin
ended up winning
pick into
that series.
Cassante?
We're hoping them to win that series against Giant X.
I
think it was
don't
game
know
number
actually.
1.
What does he pick into
But
Cassante?
Either way,
Aatrox is not
it's
going to
now
play the
just a case
game.
of focusing on
I don't know. Do you want to play
getting
like
rid of-
10
I
or
was gonna say
something? I don't know.
options into Cassante in the top lane.
Nidalee top.
But it looks like, at least
Lule.
with the champions that have already been taken off the board, there's very few
Kai'Sa
that remain as
sure.
an option into Cassante. Maybe you just want to get rid of the Ornn or something along those lines as well to act as another engage tool and good follow-up.
There's the Rice band. So I think it's Victor Orianna trade and whatever Mirwin wants to play top.
That Ornn mention is nice.
What does Mirwin play top? Greg as
agree
top?
with
I don't know what the fuck you're gonna play.
percentage
Jax?
he has. Thanks to things like Brittle and
I feel like an APS mix, like Mundo or something top would be kind of crazy, no?
Find out if they go top lane
Does it
here
win versus
and
something?
get counterpick for mid lane, which would be the obvious call.
I'm gonna go
Jax
Vex top.
also
Pick
maybe
me
an
Vex.
option. I think Mirren in the past has gone.
Ornn. Nice,
Yeah,
it fits
okay,
the
it's
comp.
just gonna
Good.
be-
And yesterday, remember
Oh,
game
there's
3 against
Orianna.
Giant
He wants to
X,
hold
this
his last
helped
pick for a
seal
bit.
it. It's not going to be picked now. It's a blind mid instead of matching top. Which is kind of
Jojo
interesting.
Jojo
Yeah, I
Orianna,
guess they,
does
like,
Vladdy go
just
Akali
can't
and
give
be a
away
rat,
Orianna.
or does he
They
pick
can't
Victor and
do
try
it.
to win the game?
It's very, very strong at
Because I
controlling
feel
the
like
lane in the
Victor
early
Jin here
stages
might
because
win you the
tend
game.
to outrange being able to move the ball around, especially when Azir's already taken off the
Or
board.
Victor
Talia's gone
Corki,
as
yeah,
well.
Corki
We
maybe
think
better.
about Syndra here in this angle. I know they're going to pick 80 carry now as well. But Syndra Vi used to be an old combo. And against range, the ability to pull out Xayah as well. I mean, I'm just throwing things at you
I
here,
don't
Dagda.
like
I'm hoping
Ari.
you catch somewhere.
Lovely.
Okay, I didn't throw that at you. That's a Victor.
What do you have top,
Yeah, I think
Mirwin?
it's more playing
Cook some
for
shit, because if it's
strong
Ornn,
AoE
then it's
in
Ornn.
team
But if it's
fights,
Ornn,
yeah.
do we win the
controlling team
game?
fights is
Because
what
I'm not
they're looking
sure.
for, because you've already got that Nico. If you compare it alongside a Victor stun afterwards as well, it can really wreak havoc. MKoi though, again, you got very strong mid jungle to try and play through. I think it is a little lacking.
Chat, I'm on ads. If
on
you want ads, you can tell me to try me out.
yeah,
Sometimes I
Ornn
want to
that
back
we
the
were
games on
talking about, just
pitches.
round it out. So very much, hey, we're gonna go in for a team fight.
Sub now, you won't get ads for 30
Both
days. You can
decent
check if you have a
scaling
Prime by
across the
clicking
board.
subscribe.
It's more going to come down
Much
to
love.
who finds these early
won't miss
advantages
anything.
in those team fights and who can get the setup.
Maltz Gambit
the
now.
objective that really are going to blow up in this game.
I mean, it is nice again to see. At the same point, right? For me, when the final pick here is still that Ornn where that long-range engage and the insane team fight setups he had yesterday, I think personally that's what won them the fights in a lot of the cases. There were great, I mean, there was also great fighting from Super as well, right? And Alvaro's nuts engages on the Alistar yesterday in Game 3 versus Giant X. But my point is this, Mirwin on something that can role-play starting fights feels to me similar to Alvaro, where they're very reliable, they're very on point, they're very accurate. MKoi, a bit of glazing there. Casey on the other side. Kana's Cassante. I feel like it's pretty clean. And Vladdy on comfort too. What a good way to round out the series when I think we got a highlight and drafts from both sides. Highlight and champions in individuals as well.
Yeah, it's the... When you look towards KC, I think it's going to be
Riot.
that is going to help them out. Just trying to keep Alvaro in check is going to be a lot of the early game plan, because if you look at Elyoya, Jojo, and Alvaro starting to link up, that becomes a pretty terrifying unit. But I have to see if they can try and hold on to that.
Why is spotting MKoi? I'm not spotting Eon.
Let's see, final game of the night in our match.
I don't
of the
really
week.
mind who wins. I just
You
say
got the
we a lot
tickets, you're here.
when I think from their
And
perspective.
you deserve to see a banger now. Dagda, I'm not going to go out there and a whim and a lie and be like, oh, these comps want to skirmish heavy. Look how early game focused they are. We have an Orianna and a Victor. We have a Corki, who, yes, is a lane bully, but still has a mad scaling with a Xayah. I see Cassante Ornn. This is about as let's fight 25, 30 minutes as it gets, you know? Junglers, do something before 60. Yeah, before 6, sorry. Imagine level 60.
Yeah, but I do think that is kind of where my focus is on the jungle and the supports. I think this is mostly where we can actually get some action.
True.
Pantheon and Vi quite strong in the early stages. You've good follow-up and good CC to enable them as well. And also, as I say, like Orianna isn't strong individually in the early stages, but if you have a jungler that is very strong and wants to chase people down,
Yike
which
Vi
Pantheon
07.
does, that's where Orianna can actually come into it. She gives shields, she gets the slow.
What do you think about the
and
draft?
also a speed up for Pantheon and the command
I feel like
dissonance.
Koi's gonna roll
So
them.
this is where you kind of become more of a supportive mid laner in the early stages that enable these much more stronger AD junglers.
I also like the phase rush here into the matchup, the ability to get burst trade and then walk away from the Victor Q. From his second proc at least.
I don't know. I feel like...
It feels kind of nice and super easy.
What the fuck is Elyoya doing?
Orianna always take this and
He's just
Yes.
right-clicking
Or
Raptors.
QW,
Oh my
bomb
god,
crate
he's a
down, or if
cheesy
you don't get an
motherfucker
auto
today,
down,
isn't he?
press
Raptors
E,
into blue,
and then
walk
you
into
get it done
Raptors.
anyway, so phase rush feels like the
Yeah, I
easiest
feel
way
like
to
this is
progress.
insanely good by Elyoya.
Also,
This makes it
the
so bot lane matchup is kind of nullified.
opportunity in the
I
early
prefer the
stages to chase
Orianna
people
side of this
down,
matchup. I think
isn't-
Pantheon's
is a
still
bit
really OP,
underrated
people
because the
underrated.
clockwork wind-up, her auto-attack
I
passive,
think top
she
matchup
gets
is
increased
whatever.
auto-attack,
Ornn
so
will just
you
go
can
even,
extend
get
the
pushed
trade
in, and
these early
be
stages,
more
especially
useful in
with long
fights.
cooldown mages stages.
Sante in
like
fights
Victor
I see these
and
days is
Orianna,
not as
you
useful.
just end up winning out because of that.
Okay, it's nice by Yike to push
He
him
feels
out.
like the nicest champion to auto in the early game as well. I mean, just feels good hitting it. As a quick side note, Elyoya started with an invade here on Raptors. He'll eventually be
Yike
spotted
saving the game.
crossing
Good job.
through to River back to his own jungle, but Yike picks up his red, loses Raptors for now. So small success story is. I also see a deep ward on red jungle for MKOI, but nothing's actually been taken. So
Bot is not cooked.
that'll expire. They know that Elyoya is bot side for now, as Kaliss and Targos push in regardless.
The question it opens up is, what does Elyoya do now? Because there
Oh,
is
his
a
super
chance
movement,
that he
pretty
clears
good.
his wolves and then moves back into
Lost a
bottom
few
side
CS,
to put
but I
pressure
feel like
onto
the fact that
Kaliss
he's
and
full
Targamas.
HP after the first
Because Yike
2
is
waves
down
is
a camp
pretty
on this
good.
bottom side, you either just kind of have to sit here and waste time, or move back up to the top side where he has both of his blue and his Grom still to spawn. You can see he's going to reset, but it looks like Elyoya just going to continue his clear up onto his top side and look to protect his own camps rather than trying to help out this bottom lane.
Well, mid laners are just passive aggressive to one another. Jojo going to go back so he can get some mana up in this, and feels like it could just be a tier
If the
start.
world
Let's
is
see what it
ending,
for the Victor
always
on the
bet against
inside.
Yike's Vi.
For Vladdy.
What?
Mirwin doesn't have to back as he gets a cloth armor nice and early here up against
Oh my
Cassante.
god, Jojo's going raw or
Dark
what?
Seal, and instead of something like a tier, it's actually a Ruby Crystal, so Jojo might be going
There's a guy in chat,
for a
I
more
said this
aggressive
before,
build
but
here in the
a
Orianna,
pink ward
or he
outlived
could
man.
just pick up Rod of Ages.
That is
For now,
criminal.
we'll wait.
That is a
Probably
criminal
Rod of
Twitch
Ages.
thing.
Rod of Ages. I think of Ruby Crystal. I'm like, hang on a minute, maybe it's like Leandros or something? Then again, that's also passive, so. Regardless, Dark Seal, I like the start on Bloody 8. Being a Victor with Dark Seal, yeah, that's confidence.
Also, in theory, he shouldn't be under a ton of pressure in the early stages,
True.
so if they can find some early success, can start to stack
Does he
that
see the
up.
Vi without blue?
Yike picking up this. Now, I think Elyoya should start to move back down towards his bottom side to get the last Mother Crop, but I'm curious if Yike, after finishing his blue, then moves in to seal away the Krugs on the top
I don't think he
side.
saw Vi without
So
blue.
it looks like instead Elyoya might just move into
And he has no
protect
top
his
push.
Krugs on top, reset, and then maybe look for the crab on the bottom half of the map.
Jojo kind of cooking Bloody in this matchup.
It's kind of decent when Jojo is the one leading this lane for now. Even getting caught in the gravity field doesn't matter as Bloody the one getting pushed in. He was spotted out and his topside camp now being done. Has he
Holy, the mana situation is rough.
One-shot Bloody. We'll get a flash in the process. Mid quite volatile. That's what I'm trying to
Has
tell
to take
you
a base here, I think.
Yike is just down here on Raptors at full
But it's a
HP,
cannon
getting
wave,
his
so it's
split
fine.
done
It's
as well.
actually fine to base. But wait, Jojo stayed? What? Why?
Yeah, Elyoya moving down. Again, Yike wanted to moved in, finish off his camps just as they were respawned, so Elyoya can't get the recontest. But
The fact
Elyoya
that
just
Supa
gotta
is
look
farming
for
this lane
the
is
Skull
God's
Crop
work.
instead, then go for the reset. And honestly, at this stage, both junglers, even with the early take, Elyoya will be slightly ahead, but the reset with the amount of gold they have means they should kind of
Maybe he
reset
wanted a
with
better
the
base timing.
same amount of items.
Yep.
So it shouldn't set Yike behind too much on this.
There is a slight timing advantage for Yike at the very least to say, as Elyoya now gets backed up. A longsword is the pickup. This is a singular one for now on Yike's side. Now, quick side.
Why
note,
the
Dagger,
chatter
when I
spam
see this
Lizard?
Corky skin
Asks
as he
a
gets
first-time
stunned up with the
chatter.
Shattering Strike. I
Oof,
do
I
think
don't know
it's
if you wanna
Super
know.
Mario Party 64 where
I always think of cool runnings.
of what?
Cool runnings.
Cool runnings.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm with you. I'm with you. No, sorry. I was like.
Okay, so Jojo
Sorry,
based
sometimes you're very Irish.
bought Ruby Crystal again.
But I think of like the toboggan when you were the penguin.
Yike
you dressed
is
up in the
sneaking
penguin
Drake.
suit and you had to go down the big ice
Yeah,
sled
yeah.
thing. And yeah, it was like a toboggan just like that.
Yeah, it's free,
That's
I think.
That's all I think about.
It is
You
free.
fall off the map
The
and
ward
you
that
picked up,
Vladdy
you just
gave
have
me
to
is
watch
great
your
and they
other
have bot
play.
push.
Like, other people play the game. You're like, oh, this is boring. That was before NPCs came into the mixes. Oh, no, it wasn't. But you know what I mean. Dragon's going to be started, taking KC.
I don't know if I like
Early
this
game,
Orianna
off to a
build.
flying start.
Oh
The
my god, I don't know if I
Shockwave's
like
gonna
that
miss there.
Shockwave. I
Against
feel like the
Vladdy, just
Orianna build,
looks about.
Seraphs into Leandris is the best,
He's
isn't
gonna get a
it?
good trade here, but
Oh,
without
he
the
could have got
Shockwave,
Vladdy Flash if he actually
Yike
played
got
that
a lot
better.
done, though. As we were kind of talking about that.
And if he got Vladdy Flash,
so
he
it
could
doesn't
kill
go
him
for
on
the
6
reset,
from
clears out his
Pantheon.
bot camps, immediately goes over towards Dragon, and is only now resetting for the tunnel pickup. So he kind of ended up spending a lot of time on the map, but knew he had push on bot and decent push in the mid from Vladdy. So there
full
wasn't
swap
going to be any
for
contest
grubs.
from MKOI. Now, with the
Jojo
Dragon
needs to
taking
watch his
MKOI,
mana.
like, hang on, Yike's been out on the map too long. They want to contest for his respawns.
There's a TP advantage because of unself
Oh my
spell.
god,
Yike
Yike panicked there.
suffered
Woo!
because of the lens.
Pantheon in the bush.
Well spotted with the timing there. Tucker's now moving up as well, but Jojo has Bloody under turret.
I think
Based on
Jojo's
checking
using
out
E
turret
too
range
much.
from
Isn't
Pokken.
E 60 mana?
Again, even though Shockwave was used, Jojo just doing a good job. Chaos Storm now going to come out, or rather Arcane Storm. And
Okay, well both mids
that's
are
gonna
pressing
help
B and they're
clear
both
the way,
homeless.
But Jojo should be able to match this. He takes next to no damage, and It'll be neutral in mid yet again with no TP to speak of.
Jojo is doing a great job of getting the trades that he needs, though.
Yep.
Already a nice CS lead for himself, and the fact that his ultimate's going to be up a little bit quicker. means
Man,
there's
Jojo's
time wait
lane
for
phase,
McCoy
not the
to try
glaze.
and make
His
plays
lane phase is
off of
fucking
that
good,
ult
by the
being
way.
up and providing
I
that
feel like
CC.
a lot of his lane phases are super solid.
Kana's just going to proxy a little bit here because not much that Mirwin could do. I mean, he's just going to accept the wave, but Kana's in a nice spot in this game as well. Quick side note, I feel like most LEC Cassantes have either had a lead or have just found
Like, what was the matchup they played game 1? He played
looking up the win rate with my
Azir Yone matchup, then he played Talia any matchup, and then he played Orianna Victor matchup, and I think he won all 3 lanes. Even though Yone Azir is losing, I think he was even or slightly ahead.
Not a good win rate.
He's definitely fixed his lane phase.
But in lane, it's a little.
In lane, it feels good. And I think we've seen some good Cassantes like a lot. I think
And even or slightly ahead is basically a win for
The
Yone.
game you played Cassante, I can't recall correctly, but I've had a lot of good Cassante games that have been like, oh, no, the team is too fed and we can't do much. So I don't know the best win rate, but still, it's a good game for Kana so far. 300 gold lead.
Yeah, because he's from NA. Alright, relax.
Is once again
He
3
still
games
taps
in a
his
row.
son, don't worry.
Jojo's lead. He's had a lead each game. He's played side lanes better. He's gotten a lot more time to spare. He has been PvEing a lot. But to his credit, I mean, he's been doing it very well. In this game,
Oi,
PvP
sending
has
it
been
on
going
who?
well as well. Here we go. But the skies
On
erupt
Nico.
with Pantheon in. That's El
Wait,
Yoya.
what just happened
Pantheon
to
in, but he's
Pantheon?
ulted by Yike straight away, who flushes out after his cease and desist. Oh yeah, pokes out that Comet of Legends and Kaliss, but Kaliss will Valkyrie instead. So, now that he's level 6, he can start poking out in return. But regardless, MKoi try to send a play.
Nice shadow from Yike, though. His camps hadn't really spawned on the bottom side.
Did Yike really
and
Q
knew
his
that
W?
His bottom lane was
Jesus.
the most vulnerable part of the map. Cassante is already
Shockwave.
going in behind
Yeah.
the turrets.
Good.
Oh, hang on.
W.
The shockwave, but where's the damage going to be? I mean, at this point,
Oh,
now
Victor
Thorn
Orianna
doesn't do
matchup.
much.
Both pretend to do damage to each other.
Now,
Ooh, Vladdy can move.
Yeah, coming in, remember,
One
that
grub
ulti
to
did a
Koi.
little assault,
Cassante is
but
moving. I
he's
think
not
Koi
gonna
has to
find
give
any
both of
target.
them here.
And now just starts up the grubs for himself. MKoi have leashed a little bit here, and one should be granted, but MKoi are backing away. 2 going to be granted over to KC, and that is a nice interrupt to get quite a bit.
Once more, Kana had moved from that bottom side into
Slight
mid,
volume increase,
so
methinks.
a little nervous about trying to overextend for the Void Grubs. We'll give Mirren a little bit of time to get the tower. Sorry, this wave underneath the tower, but in the tank v tank matchup, it's not going to mean a huge amount, whereas those early Void Grubs can do some nice things for KC.
But a goal for Mirwin in the meantime, hitting up that plate. But we come back to mid because there's always
The game
just on
has
the edge of
potential, I see it.
400 HP. Jojo and Bloody keep fighting it off, and with Catalyst, Jojo has a little bit more sustain here, but I'm more concerned about how supports get involved. Alvaro goes into Fog of War, Targamas as well, Pop Blossom, no Magnet Storm available. Just counting ultis here of what the supports can add, and both mid laners are very cautious, making sure they don't step up to get caught.
It's more just protect your own vision line at the moment and try and extend it a little bit further. There's no objectives until a minute for the next dragon, so nobody really wants to overextend or get caught
What
out
of ages for Jojo?
Damage is going to come through from El Yoya first. As El Yoya building
I
up
didn't say
passive
Game of the
stacks,
Year,
but
stop
Skull's
coming
going
in.
to be granted over to him. And that's also going to give a bit of power to Super in this top lane, who moved for the swap. Going to get a quick recall in as well, as we kind of go back to normal. 10 minutes in, no kill yet, but again, early we know there's not going to be too much blood. We've seen the comp, like 3rd time in a row. We're just going to chill, lull about a little bit, and do whatever people do in the early game.
Well, the thing is, though, the move from Kana, not as egregious as he already... Well, egregious is a bit of a strong word, but not as bad as he was able to pick up a lot of CS, and it has a bit of an experience lead. But when you look towards Kaliss, the rotation hurt him there. He lost about a wave worth of experience, setting him behind Supa. And Supa should tick over then off of this wave to level 8. You can see just there for the fight.
Yeah, this game has pretty big stakes because the winner gets first in the group, which is pretty massive.
Fight immediately. But looks like they're just going to be happy to bounce the wave. Maybe actually look for a play into Kaliss here.
Kaliss is the one hiding in brush. But it's a Corki, it's not going to matter too much. And they don't get the ward in the end, so El Yoya just stacks up to 5. And Kaliss is going to take on Super. Bombs down, and Feathers do not get a root. Super felt very
Zaya has a
confident with
small
that one
XP
with
lead,
BF
quite
sword,
nice, and she's pretty much even in CS, which is great. That lane phase looked quite tricky.
No real positioning for MKoi on the objective. They're trying to fight for this control where Kana is. But again, Kana just walking down to the objective, happy to give Mirren a little bit of time on the tower to finish out the waves.
All right,
KC
first blood is
more
inbound
focused
now.
on
I
the
can see it.
objectives with the
Pantheon
top
ult on top of the fucking
Teleport coming in, and Khaled
Vi.
took a chunk before.
Or an ult with the TP.
Will it matter too much here?
Here it comes, big fight.
Boom.
Boom, here it is. EU team fighting, baby. Here we go. Boom.
Flashed in, Mirwin does it again. Zoned off 3
Boom.
KC and Yike is down. Meanwhile, Kana got into the backside, gets Super's flash out, but now he's isolated, alone, left to try.
Feather pull.
Well,
GG. GG. Koi 2k gold up with Oriana or Zaya. And even in Drake's.
And orchestrated so damn nicely for that fight.
Very good engaged by Mirwin.
Tears through KC and MKOI have Elyoya just deliver himself into the back line and tear apart
Jojo is
KC.
fisting this lane.
MKOI's team fighting has just been better across this series. Kana trying to set up for the front line, but Mirwin, KC
Great
essentially
flash
just set
ult.
themselves up perfectly for
Rel
it.
goes
And even
in.
with the intro,
Jojo
putting
cooks
through
on the
the
back line.
Super is completely fine.
Good
Elyoya
shockwave
able
by
to separate
Jojo
out
here
the
on
fight.
3.
A good shockwave from Jojo hits onto 3 members as well.
Yeah,
And
great
oh,
fight from Koi.
Kana went so deep to try and
Great
finish
fight
off
from
Super.
Koi.
He just ends up isolated in that backline.
First 2 kills over to MKOI.
I think if Nico had
He
flash,
got
the
Mirwin,
fight would look
CC
different,
chained
but
the Laren
Nico
with
did
double
not have
brutal
flash,
coming
so
off his
the
full
Nico
forward,
threat
Denny's
is not
bellows breath.
really there.
After setting out the pillar, it was just nothing that Yike could do. He couldn't move, rather.
Koi slow to wake up in
It's
the
a
series,
bad
but
point.
definitely looking good.
A decent-sized goal
Their
lead
mechanics in
here
game
would
1
have
were
been otherwise a
disgusting,
slow
but
early game. The Dragon makes the game slower for
much
KC
better.
as well, and Dagger with all the scaling.
Caedrel, you're a game 1
MKOI are
ending.
not going to be forced to a
Fuck
fight
you up, rat.
any sooner than they'd rather.
The problem, though, is what we already kind of alluded to. MKOI and KC both scale relatively well into the game. So the early resources being given to MKOI means they will hit those item breakpoints faster and continue to be stronger. And every time you
Jojo
try
can
and
actually like
contest them,
kill Vladdy
that's
soon,
where
I
you're gonna
think.
get
No,
more
no
and
joke.
more issues as this game goes on.
Yeah, Shockwave in
now a
5.
lot of this
Like
is gonna be,
Jojo
again,
might
coming
actually
back
get a
to
solo
Tartarus and
bolo.
Yike. How can they find moments to attack side lanes and prevent MKOI from being able to utilize this lead to continue?
Level 11 Oriana, no flash
Early
Victor.
lead advantage is especially
You
going
can
to
see
go to
Alvaro
Jojo,
is covering
who,
it.
Again, 30 CS up just about. He's got a rod of ages. He's
Be
stacking
careful,
it nice and
Vladdy. Be
early.
careful. Jojo's gonna try
Vladdy
and kill
has been
you.
bullied in this lane. I'm even seeing half a level advantage between Vladdy and Jojo this game too.
Why
Looking
do you just
elsewhere, I'm
write
seeing the
anything I
leads
say and
all
put
red,
my
all
fraud next to
good,
it?
and
It
it's
doesn't make
good from
sense.
Elyoya.
Like, it's
30
not funny.
CS up. These numbers, these mean so much. Again, when we talk about scaling, but even more so when you have something like a Herald spawning
what
in
is
50
Yike's
seconds.
buy win rate?
Another Dragon
Like I know you're memeing about betting against it, but like
to start popping heads.
it's
They wanna
46% this
just
year.
off anyone who walks into a side lane, and this is going to be because of that Pantheon ultimate. It's so difficult for Vladdy to push up. You can see how defensive.
At first stand it was 0-3.
MKOI on that top side. But he
And in
doesn't really get
2025
to pick
spring,
the
it
team
was
from this
7
position, to be honest.
games,
And
57%.
Mirren's just happy because, well,
And he didn't play it in playoffs.
Part of the Forge
Ah,
God,
it's not
he
that
is
bad,
a ton of health.
technically.
If you try and dive him, it's not going
But
to go
I think
well
he
for
does
you.
it against bottom tier teams. He plays the Vi.
No, it's not. Simply said.
I started to cough at the end of that.
I know. You had the hiccups before. You started to cough.
Look, we got rid of the hiccups.
You
You
are
don't need to worry about them,
broken.
okay?
No, the question is just leading towards this fight. 5 seconds. You know, as a caster, you just get away with saying easy things like a scoreboard timer that you can all see, but I point you towards it and you think, oh, thank you very much.
Kalist, why are you
Derek,
clicking
that's
so
very
far?
nice of you.
You know, it's a
It's
W
no
the way.
problem, really. Where was I, Dagda?
Hell
Okay,
yo,
yes,
yeah.
Elyoya's going to start it off.
Hell
And the
yo,
zone
yeah.
that's coming from Alvaro. It's so easy for MKOI to just hold this position. Teleport going to be burned, but even though Vladdy's coming in with the Blackfire Torch, he's going to come in just for the wave. Nothing else going to be granted. And MKOI objectives in this early game are looking real nice.
It's again, the snowball off the early prowess that they had. They can't fight on that top side. Vladdy was forced away from the top turret because of potential dive. Guy could walk to the
I
bot
need
lane,
more
but was
degeneracy,
like, I
LEC,
can't
I'm not gonna
really
lie.
Go for any play on Mirren.
I'm not
So you
seeing
just end
enough
up
fighting.
isolating Vladdy.
I need
You
more
isolate that
degeneracy.
turret, which means you get the wave pushed in, you fall back to the objective. MKOI are just playing this very slow and very smart, and this is kind of what we were talking about in the last game, where it was, hey, it may not be the flashiest League of Legends, but it's this slow chokehold MKOI are putting onto the game. And a lot of that, again, is coming from Elyoya and Alvaro. These guys have consistently been working so well for this team, getting control on the map, denying access
Putting the Oriana
to
into
KC,
Cursante.
gating them off from parts of the map. And now Jojo is moving in. Don't know if he wants to go for anything too crazy, though.
Yike's going to be
here.
here to cover. Alvaro's going to find him first, but look behind is Elyoya with an ult in his pocket. He's looking for a target. Callista's here, but so is Targamas. The clone found out that they know it's real. And
It's just dead or what? Oh my god, that Nico is useless.
He drops down.
Good heavens, Lord have mercy, that Nico is goddamn useless.
Super able to keep in check
Absolutely
on
one shot.
forcing Targamas to try and move across as Alvaro and Elyoya. They just scoot him directly into the hands of everyone that's waiting. Again, MKOI, they're just controlling where KC can walk.
Just W'd in. Vladdy's clicking forwards.
Down KC on the charge,
everyone's clicking forwards.
Still here. An assault in that doesn't come through as Jojo's going to be
Is
collapsed
Jojo
on after
dead
the
here?
fact 'cause he stepped up to the wave thinking that, yeah, my team is in river, but
He's
no
quite
longer. He flashed
tanky.
away with teleport to cover as well. The
No flash
entry
Kana.
is not an assist. Instead,
W's it.
Shockwave
No flash Kana.
disengaged by Kana. A great
Or
W
an
as the
ult.
Pathmaker's now down Meowin.
Oh,
Flashes
Yike
in again,
canceled.
doesn't give time.
Q flashed,
Quick
Yike dead.
steering charge doesn't work. Pop
Big one from Nico, but no follow-up, doesn't do anything. Big root, Kana Q3 ready. Corki on the way, Super went to mid-wave, into the game. KC's back. Now, that's what I'm talking about. That's the degeneracy I need. Now we're back. Now we're back, you see. Now we're... See, now we're back. See, now we're back. We're so back. Now we're so back. This is the degeneracy I need. Is Super reported? Was that mid-wave worth it?
KC were just playing the waiting game. They had Kalist moving.
Now we're going. Now I feel the pace. Now I see it. I see it. I see it now.
All they were doing is biding for that moment where Kana could help turn it around, and MKOI took the base.
Hola.
A slither of HP. There's a
Oh, Alvaro and the Dragon, who wins?
Looking for Targamas and getting in the
Super
way of
just
Dragon.
flashed
Super
over the
now
wall.
comes on in at full HP. Alvaro's trying to sacrifice his life as Young
Failed the
has
route.
to walk
Jojo's
away from the
TPing
Dragon.
behind.
Teleport.
Where?
He
No, he's
does
TPing in
all,
front, so that's
Jojo
useless.
doesn't have a shockwave,
And
but
then
it's
what?
20
And then there's no
seconds
smite, so they
off.
can't do the Dragon, so I guess Pantheon has to ult in. And now Jojo is just running in, but he's gonna get chunked. Oh, he almost cancelled the Corki base. And Super gets the Dragon. Okay, and Pantheon ulted. Oh my god, on top of Vladdy.
And even though there's a stun,
And the shockwave was dog shit. Oh my god! And Vladdy's gonna live. We're so back. Everyone clap.
I think both teams just
We're
got
so back.
bored and
We're
just
so back.
Bloody going in.
So we get the initial play on towards the bottom side, on towards Jojo, who overextended.
This is more like it. This is what we need.
When we saw that KC play in towards MKOI's jungle, but watch
So
as
someone
this goes
explain to
on.
me in the
the
English
mid lane,
language
Corki is already
why
pushed in.
Zaya didn't
So
right-click
KC,
bot.
all they're trying to do is buy time and keep MKOI interested.
Because
And
Corki
they-
wins 1v1, I guess, he's
MKOI
scared.
They fully commit. You don't end up getting that knockup from Mira, but Targamas again a great engagement off the back of the Pop Blossom.
He had to
And
catch
that's when
mid, Corki
Callista's
first
come
move,
through.
GG.
There's nothing left in the tank
Yeah,
now
if Saya was
for
rocking up,
MKOI,
she'd
and
be
Calista can help finish off
here
those members of the
now. Would she be up doing
Eventually,
anything? No.
one way or another, MKOI KC delivers. Eventually, it gets interesting here as Meowin is the last to go.
After this, though, is where it gets funky, because Kana TP's to the top lane to get the tier 1, but it does mean, oh, hang on.
Meowin's going to be cancelled. Yike doesn't get his assault in, but
That's a
he
dead
still
Ornn.
has a
That's a
cease
dead
and
Ornn.
desist. He doesn't even need it. Even after a searing charge, Kalist
Yep,
is
we're
now
back.
on a rampage. 4 kills
Yep,
on the
we're back.
Corki. He picked up one by himself last time in bot
Yep,
fight
we're
as
back.
Khan is running for life, but he's a Cassante. CC means nothing to him, and so he'll just evacuate this bot turret.
Does mean we're essentially back to all square, though, when it comes towards the gold. Yes, there's some differences, obviously, on like the 4-kill Corki, but it's got a lot of gold on towards Jojo, who's been fairly quickly accelerated. The Dragon's in favor of MKOI, and I think that's where, if you can get to this next fight, MKOI are going to be trying to, again, see if they can separate out KC in the same fashion that they did last time. But Vladdy,
TPing bot for an Atatakan rush or what?
nothing to do with a potential
No
play
Pantheon
towards
ult
it.
up yet,
Going
but it's up
towards bot,
soon.
Maybe for the Atakan as well. It's Vladdy's play after bot, top wave rather, is getting pushed out.
Everyone's
so he'll
running
be
down.
hit first. Elyoya with no
Everyone's
ulti,
running
and
down.
walking in, Alvaro has
Is
to
the
face check.
Atakan
Khan
dead?
can stand
Or is
here and
Pantheon
deliver,
gonna
beat
ult
the
in as
wall,
it comes up last
but
second
no
and
one
steal
can
the
get past
Atakan?
it all.
I don't
Jojo
know,
and
but
Meowin
my
running
region
in
is
from the
back.
river here, and even
Or
though
an
there's
ult
a
now,
Hextech being
maybe.
used, Atakan at 8K,
Nope.
going
Oh
down
my god,
fast with
KC,
Herald,
are you gonna
beating
throw the whole
off
game
to
here?
MKOI mid.
This is a little
Are we gonna throw the whole
risky,
game here?
though. I don't know if KC can burst this out.
Here comes the right click from Koi, and they're donated it. What? Corki got it! He didn't smite! Oh my god! Pop Blossom! Beautiful by Targamas. And they might still lose the fight because they're not going to lose the fight. How did Pantheon not get it? How did Pantheon not get it? What? No one smited. Did no one smite? Am I cooked?
Alvaro might have been able to set up for that huge
It looked like KC had leashed the whole thing for them.
Again with the Pop Blossom that is finding the angle to keep MKOI out and set up for KC
That
to
Nico's
take the
broken.
Herald was placed
Doesn't
down
matter
and
how many
still
levels
gonna
you
get a
have
charge
or what your game
regardless,
state
but
is.
Kalista
Just
will
have
be able to
Nico
clear this
flash
out,
up
save
and
his
boom.
inner turret. It's yet another fight
I
where he gets
never
a lot.
said mint
Kana
ice cream was good.
on this
Mint ice cream
Cassante
sucks.
doing a lot as well.
Well, the thing was, Kana actually got
Wait,
CC
who
at the start of
smited?
this. I
Who
think he was
smited?
looking for Elyoya to try and ult him out of the fight. So
No
you
one
can
has
try and
smite other
avoid
than
the
junglers.
steal. But here, get CC, doesn't really get the setup.
But a smite did
Targamas
come through,
coming
it
in
was
off the
Pantheon.
side,
He Q
gets a
smited,
huge
but
pop
Corki got
blossom,
it.
which then just immediately sets up for KC to go.
Vi
And
ult was
Supa
great from
gets
Yikes
a
Vi.
Great pullback
Right
here,
target.
but doesn't really have any more of the follow-up. Targamas is doing a ton of work alongside Kalista and Vladdy to just keep these tank members of MKOI out of position so Supa can fall.
Nice, guys.
Nice,
Nice
guys.
smite, yeah, Kapachungus.
Nice smite.
It's okay,
Yeah,
it's okay,
Kapachungus. Is he killing
I feel
Kapachungus
like with
Deluxe?
Leandro's Black
What
Fire
a heady.
Torch, and Mirwin, who's had a couple of good setups in fights, is now
Kapachungus
getting shredded
Deluxe.
really, really quick. Look at the damage. Most done by Vladdy.
Big damage by Yike. You love to see it.
Supa's doing a lot, so both AD carries definitely worth watching
Vladdy
here.
does
His
stream
gold
into
is still
Koshums, he's a
pretty
rat.
much even. KC, yes, have a 1,500 gold lead, but
I'll teach
remember,
you
we're
Victor
talking about
Orianna
scaling.
matchup.
We're talking about 3
My
items being
Orianna.
picked up here, or at least well on the way too, for these AD carries. As they sit for 2 and a bit right now, we wait, we look. Dragons up in a minute. That'll be third for MKOI, and worth a discussion.
We've also got to start looking at the shockwaves from Jojo, because 2 items now means that he's in a decent spot to start hurting. Not exactly the Ludens build that you like to go for. But
Jojo,
still,
I never thought I'd say this.
Can be game
But he needs to lock in. He's been super locked in, but he needs to lock in harder. Big pressure on Jojo to carry the game. But his items, I don't know if his items carry the game.
And look for the reset.
And his side lane play continues no matter what champion he's on. He's still up in CS, by the way. He's still massively up on Vladdy, and you know, we need a big shot.
Drake up in 20 seconds. Koi are still in the game.
KC keep winning out.
They're still in it. Their Nexus is up, and the game is playable. So, stop inting.
In onto Mirwin, just out of range.
Breathing fire.
Trying to get some brittle there with the
Kalist is the damage. Level 14 Court
trying to
E.
call the bluff of KC.
Alvaro has
you
flash,
can go for
Targamas
Dragon.
has
We're gonna
flash.
Take your tier 2 in the top lane. So KC now trying
Victor
to
has to catch top wave. Drake in 5 seconds. Looking for the solo bolo here. Jojo Pune. QW.
With the shockwave available,
Q.
trying to poke out Vladdy. Make sure he doesn't
Camera pans away.
Mirwin
might be inting. Flashes back.
The shredding is
No
unreal,
TP.
even from
Drake is dead.
Kalist.
That's a free Drake
He's
for
got a big
KC.
one in the hole with double buffs, and Dragons
Jojo
up
stays. He
again.
recognized it.
KC
Drake is free
need this,
for them.
and
I should make a play top.
Make sure that MKOI don't have a condition to play 4 and 5.
I'm pretty sure KC saw Mirror and TP to mid, so they know that the Ornn is out of the fight. Happy to go for this.
Nothing to do top,
Vladdy
though.
backing away, thinking the only option that MKOI have now is to try and go for that play on towards the tier 2. But even then, they're shy. They're just going to take the
shy?
the camps instead.
Did the shy?
Jack takes us with these.
Did
Okay.
someone say that?
2 apiece. Game gets interesting. Gold even more even than before. Baron's up in 45 seconds. This final game to decide. Holding us by an inch. Quick reminder, KC 2-0. Movistar Koi, yes, they got their first win yesterday. If they win this, they move alongside KC. Well, actually, they'd be above, because KC would be 2-1. But they would be the top of the group. It'd be such a statement. After coming back a little bit shaky yesterday, after game 1 was such a wipe, Koi, we just have to call them resilient after that point, because it'd be 2 days in a row where they somehow just knuckled down and trudged through the mud.
Yeah, I still think, I mean, even looking at the goal, this game is relatively close.
Yeah.
Like, KC definitely have a lead off of tempo and being able to set up. Like, even
MKOI need items, man.
isn't being displayed.
They
like
did IE on
Xayah,
Xayah.
9 Dark Seal stuff.
And they did one more item on Orianna, whatever the fuck he's building.
It's just that the scaling
Maybe
on
is he
both
going
sides is
Seekers,
incredibly
actually?
good. So one team
No, he's going
fight
Void Stick
could make the
Crypt Room.
difference. Like we
Okay,
saw
he's going Crypt
Targamas
Room.
make
I like
the
Crypt Room.
difference with
Magic
that
Pen
Pop
good.
Blossom in the last fight. If Albro can get something
I don't
similar,
know, they're
it
so
could
far away
change
from
the
IE
outcome
though.
of this game. It's just that MKOI for the moment are on the back burner because KC
On the back
are out of
burner.
the map and pushing waves faster.
Yeah, that conversation about Movistar Koi moving to first if they can win this is right now maybe more of a dream than KC remaining undefeated, because that feels like it could be reality. With
There's so many
feeling
memes
of
in the
this game at
chat
very least,
based
right?
on their names.
Baron's still up as well, by the
This
way.
guy's
as we
called Holy
move to
Siwu.
third item for 80 carries.
But look at
memes,
where
chat,
the
good
Ornn
memes.
is on the minimap. Oh, hang on.
Cease and desist.
Jojo
We've
caught.
got a pause.
Flashes.
Yeah, Jojo's
Q,
gonna flash
W.
away. That flash not being up and available for a major fight. Maybe a game
Oh
changer
my
here
God,
as
a
Elyoya's
wild
just
Elyoya has
ultied
appeared.
in. He's now on the right side of the map for Dragon, but that's 3 minutes away.
They thought it was going to be a much heavier engage from KC. Because what I was about to point out was you had the Ornn who's been sitting around mid looking for an engagement on towards mid lane, but you had the full push down into this bottom side. So as our MKOI were seeing that,
That was
like,
a few
oh, crap,
business
we've
days late,
misread
you're right,
where
not
the
gonna lie.
play is going to come from KC. We have missed our timing window.
-1.
So it's just trying to
I
find
saw that.
Jojo, because the Orianna
That could be the
is your
difference maker of
most
not having his item in
vulnerable
base.
point on the map, especially when she's in a side lane. She just doesn't escape well from a lot of what KC have. And now that she has no flash, it only doubles that as well.
And you know she needs time. She needs that third
He has it,
item.
he
I
has
mean,
it,
now
he
he's
has
picked
it,
up
and he has a
Crypto
pink
Bloom,
ward.
so
Big items for Koi.
Yeah, Crypto Bloom.
Jojo can carry. Lock in.
It's
No
a
secrets
ETF,
though.
actually. Well,
I'm watching
3
Supa's items.
regardless. So the investment is there. And Jojo simply finds the shot.
Adam respawned before that Benzion arrived. True.
It's just about if he can get Bloody, if he can get Callist. Keep track of Targamas in the same vein. There's a lot of what-ifs. I feel like that's for both teams, though, as well. Who hits those big multi-ultis? That's what we want to see.
The big multi-ulti.
Baron is sitting there waiting.
Some big items for Koi.
Vision from both.
Randuins, i.e.
It's the
massive
control
items if they can get
River
them.
that KC are able to utilize, though. Getting that push in mid, you can see Targamas as Corki is on this top side alongside Vladdy, supporting him and getting that push. Now Jojo's only going to move to match that, which is allowing KC to group
I'm
up.
going to need an Ornn upgrade on the Zaya now. Ooh, they're forcing Baron before the IE.
But maybe looking to get Mirren's TP up the bottom lane. There it is.
They get mid lane TP immediately, you're right. So Mirren's going to join in, but this
Wait,
ain't just
is
a
it gone?
start. This is looking to
They
be a
have-
finish.
is
and
it gone?
KC
Is it gone?
have got it down to 5. It's gone
Is it
down
gone?
mega quick, and MKoi have to
They have
get in.
Cassante
MKoi
to
in
mark the
still.
Pantheon.
At 4, at 3, they hold off. They look for the
They turned onto Jojo. Great turn, great turn. Super ult, good ult. He has a lot of feathers to play with, but it's a 3v5, and it's Victor. Nice knock by Kana. Oh, flash into the wall. That's GG, right? Surely. Well, Super got IE in base. Great force by KC. Great turn, great engage by Targamas.
Was clutch there. The fact they caught
Q,
Jojo
Q,
again,
Q,
that Orianna without the flash, the
he's
prime
out.
target for KC. And Mirren not being able
So
to get
what
the
did
second
Jojo
half
do there?
of the Call of the Forge God as well means that KC will pick up the Baron. We'll get to see it on this one. So
Oh, he just
Targamas
ran at
immediately
Nico
goes
full
on
speed
Jojo,
ahead.
who's separated. But as this Call of the Forge guard comes through, doesn't end up connecting with it.
It's a hard
which
fight
means
for
that there's
Orianna
no
regardless,
big
and he wants to
engagement
chunk the
tool.
Nico out
And
as much as
obviously
possible.
MKoi have been pulled
But
every
I
which
wonder if he thought it
direction
was
to try and
Corki.
save
I'd have to
people.
watch it from
Whereas
earlier.
KC quickly teetering in on towards those carries and able to finish them off.
Come back to life. Baron has been picked up. Mirren was the only one to survive. I think the most annoying thing is that Kana keeps moving objects
Chat,
and moving
stop
objects
saying
like that. I mean,
Jojo on S tier,
Koi just
lol.
gets separated more.
Why are
every
you
time
being
he
such
ults,
rants?
Every time he fights. There's so many dissuading abilities, and then Bloody and Callist are just left in the meat grinder, and they love that. There's 3, almost 4 items for Callist, by the way, is after that fight, after the damage he's done in this game, he's about to get an IE.
Bloody also able to finish off his Zonyas means that he's just no longer a target really for MKoi. You're heavily reliant on trying to get on towards Callist, but he's so mobile with the Valkyrie also having the cleanse. It feels like MKOI's windows for taking fights are out the window, to be perfectly honest.
Jojo's a lane
And
end,
then KC,
but in
another
winter
dragon,
he was
third dragon,
a terrible laner. How was he?
and
How was he?
MKOI just taking the pressure that they can inside.
You know what, Chet?
The gold lead starting to become a bit too big for them.
Becoming huge, 3,000. And Soul Point, will
You're all
we
rage
get
baiting, that's
to
it.
the 4th dragon is the biggest question, because Koi are getting sieged on quite heavily. Bot turret going to drop down while Jojo is trying to make it a trade, but remember earlier on, KC got those 2 grubs. They have an advantage.
Jojo's getting top tier 2.
And this mid turret is going to be next, while Jojo just simply tries to get one.
Saya hasn't upgraded Infinity Edge. MKoi aren't weak.
Baron's go
I was going to say
creeps.
man.
You're not going to be able to defend. Your
MKoi
comp
are
is
not
pretty
weak,
short
you know.
range.
I feel
So
like the
instead,
Saya
just
is
try
pretty
and
strong.
Match the turret takes, engage on bot.
Steering charge, there's the ulti from Elyoya, but he runs into harm's way, and Bloody will be fine to just range him down. Bliss the same as well, by the way, and now that Elyoya's here, they know exactly where the jungler's coming from.
I think Koi should fight.
Jojo had to back away. He's going to be on vision with his
I
mid
think
wave
they're not
too,
weak.
with half HP on the inhib turret. Bot is going to keep waddling down.
This is what I mean, this little MKoi can do on the defense of the siege. They need to try and find something, but it didn't end up working out. At least they got the top tier 2.
Yikes, Vi is winning tech weight.
Jojo stepping up to make sure mid doesn't go with it as well. Inhibitor now exposed on the bot side of the map. And top wave eventually going to crash in, but that's going to slowly be bouncing back towards MKOI's bases. Quick base in time actually by KC, because they're going to get their reset off after Baron kind of runs out, or at least gets closer towards that. So a nice siege. A 2,500 Red Bull Baron power play.
Oh, IE
Worse
for
than the best,
Kallist
but
now.
It's still an advantage for them.
It's huge just because it gave them full control of the game.
Yeah.
If you try and come out for the dragon and you end up losing it, the game is over for MKOI, which makes you much slower to try and approach this objective. They look like they're going to try and look for some pick as just Just hiding out of vision here.
Bloody walking in, gets stunned up. He walked right into that.
Oh,
Back of Storm.
wait,
He's been
Bloody just
opened
inted.
up.
What?
That's a shutdown. Now
What?
Kana walked into man, but with Bellows, Brett has to be careful. He'll get brittled, he'll get slowed, and with dissonance, there's nowhere to go. He flushes away, and poor Mirwin needs it late. Is some CC change.
No Baron
And
for
Koi
3
with a
minutes
big
though. They
pick, and
can't really
Bloody
do anything with it.
Just strutted his stuff to die.
There's nothing on the map for MKOI to get though. Their wave is pushed in
Can't
top.
really
the
do
wave
anything with
isn't
it. They
in a
could
position
try
of bot
bot
lane
tier
to do
too.
anything, and it's still 2 minutes 40 at minimum until that next objective. So yes, it is a nice pick, and it does buy a little bit of breathing room for MKOI, but it doesn't change the outcome just yet.
Maybe that's why Vladdy's lucky for that misstep, lucky for that misplay. Alvaro has unsealed spellbook, so he's going to use the barrier, move back to heal. Hexgate taken to get out of the way, so you're right. Let's see if Elyoya actually finding Yike, getting in his way. Spears out again. The rest of KC are
I didn't
backing
save
this play
Vladdy
up
S tier.
as Baron's
Stop
220,
making up things, Chad. They're
Dragon
lying.
2 minutes 10.
Alright,
They're
Vladdy's about to get
coinciding
Flame
these
Horizons
timers.
by Jojo Pune.
And that's big for KC
How
when
is
they're
he?
on soul point.
They're farming pretty good
Getting
though, the
option
carries
to
of
play
Void.
with your food and see what way you want to go. The pick on Vladdy does mean that the waves are now in a decent spot for MKOI. The fact that
Chat,
they're
rage
able to
baits and
push
gaslights me.
insides, will get the reset, push them out once more, just as the Dragon and Baron are about to spawn, gives them a little more control on the map. But it's still KC being able to, as you say, kind of play both sides. That's going to make it difficult for MKOI if they really want to commit.
Tension rises. That big play is going to come off the back of 4 5-item carries. Let's see which way. An enhanced Infinity Edge, so the goal difference between AD carries is probably more like
Actually really winnable for Koi, by the way.
1,002.
So winnable.
Waiting for that last whisper to come through from Super. Waiting for a last whisper from Kalista as well. That'll help the shredding on Cassante, on Ornn alike. That'll make the fight a little bit quicker on their end too. I'm looking at Azonya's maybe being completed for Jojo before that fight comes through, but he's only got a Seekers. A lot of gold to go. Might not have that for the fight, so that's a 1 tick. But to be fair, at this point in the game,
Kind of all you need.
I feel like it might be all you need. You're right.
So winnable.
Might not matter. Kana with a random.
I'm glad it
picked up
ends on a
full
high
buff
like
from
this.
Cassante.
The first 2 games
And
were
Mirwin's a little bit ways to go.
the
with
entertainment
a,
value was not
Negatron cloak and
at the level of a back and forth late game that I
Full
wanted.
for Jojo on the reset.
Okay,
So
he does get the Sonyas.
It's a big dark seal
And
from
again, like,
Jojo.
at
You
this
love to see
stage,
it.
Gold is kind of a no factor. It is very much going to come down to execution. And at the moment, MKOI getting
Targamas,
that showdown,
I wanna see a
getting vision
fatty
control,
engage.
Gives them more information.
Alvaro,
to
same
play
for
with.
you.
Even just some nice poking to Kalista right now.
Mirwin
I'm just imagining being
That poke as
Corky
well
right
is
now.
fun
This
and
game
engaged.
looks cooked
Kana
though.
gets
Like
out of
Oregon
there.
Isaiah,
Stands
help.
a little bit behind Kalist.
Alvaro's marking both Yike and Targamas on the side, and Mirwin happy to step forward and be that meat shield in the front to continuously let MKOI buy the space that they need on the map. Also, he's taking the Scuttle Crab, going to be very nice for movement speed just in front of the pit, which is why Elyoya dipped over there to get it.
Jojo, really good zoning while he does that as well, using his range advantage and his unlimited mana supply to just make sure that KC can't walk directly at them. Kalist, remember, is still low and he might have a red buff, but
Is this soul
the
for
poke is starting
KC?
to
Don't
matter
forget
more
if they
and more.
steal it
Alvaro
by
looking for
Yike.
an angle and Dragon's
Queuing
gonna
over.
start, but before KC even know what hit. No! What? Yike comes through, doesn't drop
There's
like
no way they
Fox
lost.
himself.
Oh my god, the
Never mind,
shockwave.
they knew, and they
Oh
just
my
took
god,
it.
they lost the
Kana
smite
runs
with
in,
Zaya.
now takes
Oh my
it.
god, wrap it up, wrap it up. They lost the smite with Zaya Feathers and Pantheon Q smite.
Mirwin flashes out because the Movi Stars have just been demoted.
Oh, Yike's in there. He starts the fight. That's all he wanted to do.
Yike will die for the play.
Wait.
The blade caller.
Super,
runs
super,
in,
su, su,
wants
su,
his
super,
job
Yuki.
back, trying to get a route, but doesn't. Kana steps
Yeah,
forward.
they have mid-wave as well.
Runs in, and indeed, it is the Movi Stars who will fall.
It's a series of
They have
disastrous
Pantheon ult
events
to clear
for
the wave though,
MKOI.
so I guess it's
The
a Baron
Dragon
angle.
is stolen. Jojo whiffs on the ultimate, and KC are able to jump in on top of them before Mirwin can even get his ultimate off himself.
Oh my god, the
KC
smites. We need to work
got
on the smites, guys. We
everything
need to work on the
they needed and are
smites.
led directly to the Baron.
I feel like Yoya had a free
Flipping
Atakan
for
and a
the
free
objective
Dragon this
twice,
game, and he lost
Yike
both of
had
them.
about half a second to get that, and
Oh
he
god, that
did.
feel.
But watch afterwards. Jojo moves in, goes for the ultimate.
That Oriana ult
whiffs
was
on
also
everyone.
pretty bad.
Kana then in a position where he actually gets onto Jojo, which sets up for the slow as Targamas comes through, so you get that early flash out. And again, Mirwin taken out of the fight, he's then focused down, and he's not able to set up in enough time to get some sort of fight back. Plus the Hex Tech Soul getting that AoE slow and damage as MKOI are all grouped to
Oh,
run away.
Victor,
It's
if he gets
just a
Rabadons with
complete
his souls,
mess.
he's
And
gonna
Super
eat
trying.
everyone. He's gonna
Like,
He
I wanna
nearly
eat
managed
as well.
to get Kalist off the back of that and maybe could have done something, but it had already gone so wrong before that.
He got the flash from Kalist. I mean, that was an ambitious hero play, but it bites him in the end as well with Kana getting the sidestep. And It becomes a game of KC again. It's an elder game that Koi have to play towards now with the second Baron going to KC, and at this 36-minute mark, that Hextech Soul, the chase, if MKoi gets stuck again, if they go into this fight and get separated, this game, this series will end.
MKoi grouping because they know Vladdy's on bottom side looking for a pick
All right.
on the mid lane.
The
KC
only
not
person with flash up
overextending.
in this
And
game
we already saw how
is
difficult it
Alvarito.
was for KC,
Alvarito.
for MKoi to defend their base against the last Baroned up minions.
Does it matter?
It becomes even more difficult when you're
No.
missing a turret on bot lane.
But it's
you're
something.
Trying to defend the tier 2, but KC
And Kana has it
already
true.
setting up to cover this.
Oh my god,
Well,
don't
it's a
look
full
Victor
item
items.
now over Super,
6,
who's holding
well,
in
5
control.
item
Wardu
Victor
obviously didn't have
with
the gold to build it outright.
Hextech Soul.
Might be the difference maker that comes through in what could be a final fight. Remember, it's getting into late game, so gold doesn't matter as much, but still, it shows you that KC are in the driver's seat just with the gold lead alone. This Baron trying to whittle down the inner turret and top side while minions are moving in through bot. No one handling it right now with Kana running through mid, adding pressure so that MKoi have to pay attention top.
KC don't have to overforce. Just let the Kana minion do the work. Let the Hextech Soul get a little bit of poke damage underneath the turret as well. MKoi now trying to see if they can split up and find some angle of attack. It looks like Kana might be that. But no KC member walking close enough to Yoya in transition.
He'll just take so long
Just two
to die.
tanks
It
duking
has
it
to
out
be
in mid lane.
Some kind of miracle fight that
It's an
doesn't
elder
use all
fight.
the
It's an
engages
elder
as
fight
Chris
game.
walks
Will the
back
soul
in.
matter if it's an elder fight
Minion
game?
be
Maybe
down. There
KC should
goes
make
the
it better.
last inner of their game. And moving through multiple lanes yet again, Yike controls this space, and MKoi fear the worst here. They need to pull a rabbit out of the hat and something more than that as Jojo gets poked down, and KC still with Baron for another 40 seconds will continue the siege.
Mirren's on the bottom
Big
side.
shockwave.
Shockwave gone again.
Oh, what's the timer on that one, I wonder? It's about 40 seconds, right?
Yeah, I think for Jojo just seeing maybe...
That's
he
a
can
mid
get
and bottom
something,
him
but
dead for
unfortunately a little
Koi.
bit short. And now KC once more in front of this next turret to fall. The base from MKoi is crumbling.
Yike tries to lure them in, or rather pretend like he's going to cease and desist. The AoE,
They're not going bot, they're going
does
top
wonders
because
on
then they
the
can go
inhibitor.
bot after and they have top
MKoi
wave and they have Baron
have to
for
give it
10
up.
seconds,
Next
but
wave
they're not
is
going to
top.
get this tower,
You've
I
only got
think.
one
Maybe they will.
wave worth of Baron minions here, and then for KC, the siege will end.
There's so little you can
Baron
do
off
again.
now. Do they get the tower?
MKoi,
No.
they don't have the ranged, they don't really have the big engage. And maybe in a position where you can just, like, I think you just kind of got to
Bro.
fish for a big
Never
engage
mind.
and hope for the best with Mirwin.
This
Because
chat.
otherwise, you just get the slow bleed and it's never going to go well.
They're just trying to whittle down Kana. I mean, that slow bleed hurts. It's the hardest way to lose games, to lose series.
Say it. Well, some guy in chat said I'm doing
just
5
watch it,
push-ups
there's
for every
nothing you can do.
missed
It
shockwave, and he
sucks,
said I'm on
but hey,
10. Like,
1 minute
bro,
30, that's something you can
that's
do.
only
Elders
that's
coming
only
up
2.
and
That's
that
10
MKOI's
push-ups. What are you on
chance
about?
to flip this game.
Yeah, I'm curious if the call is, as you say, well, 1 Elder, but 2 Rabbit on Death Cap.
Like, how is that
Competed
how is
for
that
Jojo
crazy?
Kill. That could be their last hope, essentially, that they get to a point where they can find that big one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, you're on
He's been,
15.
He's been farming up every camp that he can
That dude's
in the jungle as well.
Flame Horizoning Vladdy, and they're losing.
Still, KC in control. Like, waves being pushed in continuously. You got super creeps in the mid lane, which is going to help. If it's an extended play around the Elder Dragon, where KC can just get control on mid, and
Jojo,
even TP should be up
410
if they can look for a
CS.
potential TP
Damn.
end instead
Yeah.
of even looking at the Elder Dragon.
Doesn't have
Those
Rabadons
minions
in base.
provide
No
so
way.
much so many problems. It's a shame that KC don't have that bottom inhibitor down, so it's on the Dragon Wave. That makes things a little bit easier for them. Super's going to walk in here and
I'm
just
guessing
take
he has
the
a
mini
blue
wave while
pot, though.
TP's going to be burnt, dagged. It's all coming down to this 5v5 around mid.
You have to be so careful trying to push in these waves, though. You can see those crashes coming through from the Hextech Soul are slowing Super and actually
Big
could
damage
give a
on
window of
Cassante. That's
opportunity
Orion
for
at
KC
QW right
to
there.
look for an engage. MKoi now trying to hard force a play on the mid wave, but Super creeps starting to come up.
Yike has GA. He can send it in. So can Elyoya. Alvaro's looking for
Oh,
an innovative
Alvaro,
angle.
sneaky
One that
rat.
could just change the game
It's
as
very
well.
awkward if
but will
Yike
he
just
be
engages
spotted?
on
There's
mid
a ward
now.
there, though, that it will spot him out if he tries to move through. It's a good blue ward by KC, kind of warding all their defensive flanks. As now MKoi, they need to find a way to break this.
Oh,
Even
Alvaro
trying
could
to
hit a
run down mid
monster
lane,
engage
I don't
here.
think is enough.
TP going to be burned. This is Mirwin coming in with the ball on top of him. They want an engage, running in blindly. Mirwin needs to help get a shockwave. Super starts off the damage.
Yike.
Alvaro now spotted out by Yike as the
Pushes
Shattering
Alvaro
Strike
out.
does not
Nice.
connect. Heal out,
It's
and
cooked
MKoi
now. I think
are getting
KC
burnt
owned
down
them.
slowly but surely.
They flushed out the
Kalisz,
rel.
not a big one in the hole as he's getting hit hard by
Oh, big one.
Dragon.
Wait, Kalisz is getting
Elyoya doing
fucked
some
by the
damage as
dragon.
well.
What?
This burn, this Elder is helping out MKoi.
Elyoya is still at the ultimate to try and reposition. KC having to cede ground. MKOI forcing them back.
Oh, Koi's getting a flip here.
Below half.
It's a root in. Super does good damage at 7k though. If they flip this again, it might all be.
Oh, he stunned Nico on the engage.
Yikes
Yikes in GA. Oh, Shockwave's big!
Kalist is dead! Oh, there goes Yike! I can't see shit, but I think Super's carrying. He's fighting Cassante. Oh, Victor! Dead! It's 2v1.
Until Mirwin survives.
Cassante's so low though.
KC, the game will go on.
The problem is though that MKOI can't actually go for the objective. Super creeps are in the base, and Kana could TP in to try and end. They need to hold on to the base, and MKOI need to find a way to do that a second time.
Oh, it took one shockwave. I can't believe finally.
Alvaro smurfed this. Look at this. He's gonna stun Targamas now. Flash out, and then Lorn ult, and he's gonna go back in a second.
Then that massive shockwave
with the shockwave.
3 members with the follow-up on the Ornn Ultimus, but Super
completely stopped the Nico from being able to play the fight.
To Kana, which meant that they actually maybe could have finished off Vladdy quicker, and then turned on towards Kana on the Dragon.
Jojo turning the fight alone.
To finish him off meant that they just couldn't quite have enough DPS to deal with Vladdy.
There you go. There's the damage in the fight, by the way. I was looking at Vladdy's Storm getting bigger and bigger, but his Sonya's
I told you it was a
and
banger.
he was exposed. Exposed to me when exposed to Elyoya at the end. And that is why he could not kill them. That is why he could not finish the job.
But look at the amount of flashes that were burned. Nothing left on MKOI. 2 flashes on Kalist and Kana in the entire game.
I still think KOI's gonna lose.
Stepping up once more. KC
like this Hextech Soul is unbeatable. Unbeatable.
Those Sonya's
no
are
counterplay.
available for Vladdy, for Jojo.
And Kalist
I
has
see a
sums up.
GA advantage for Elyoya over Yike, who lost his in the fight. No 80 carry with a GA. Also worth mentioning here, those ultis, let's have a quick look.
You gotta start the Drake.
All up and available.
This is dangerous from MKOI though. They've committed to the pick. KC could move down mid, but now we're looking at the Dragon.
Look at Targamas!
Watch out for Super here, who wants to keep waddling about Targamas. In a back, he's got himself a Pop Blossom angle. He's gonna find them all!
GG!
To bring KC
Unless
back on
GG, Kalist carrying.
Running aground, but he's dead. Max is Kalist, got to kite it out. Elyoya wants to leave.
Great engage from KC. Great flank.
Once and for all.
You need eyes
Super
in the
died
back of your
before he could
head
ult.
if you're going to spot out Targamas. He's so consistently
Great
able to
positioning
find
from
these
Targamas.
moments, and once more
love to see it.
he finds it for KC right at the end.
We got delivered a banger to end the series in our match of the week, but in the end, the French rise up. There will be no white flag. There will be no surrendering here today. KC
Good ending. Good ending.
Undefeated in
Good ending.
Group A.
Good ending.
0, and so well deserved after that.
Good ending.
What an absolute banger of a series. MKOI fought valiantly. That was so
KC's gonna
close to
top the
being their
group.
final
Likely
end.
KOI comes second.
But the team
And
fighting,
GX
the
third.
flanks, the setup around objectives from KC was just cleaner time and time again.
It was their game. The fact that KOI came in was admirable, but KC held on. You can vote for your key player of the series.
Alright, chat, I'm a piece it. Chat, I'm a piece it. I appreciate you all for coming out to the stream. It was quite a long one. Next week we'll get Hollow Knight finished, and we'll do a Poker Rogue run, and we'll do a gold ship run deal. G fucking G's. G fucking G's. Some great games this week. It was really fun. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing me as your co-streamer. Hope you had fun. Hope you stay safe. Hope you stay healthy, stay well. Shout out to all the lurkers, bidders, gifted, shout out subbers, donos, resubbers. I'll see you guys next week for some more pace deal. Alright. Big kiss. Enjoy the Elta. Enjoy the C9 game if you're gonna watch it. And I'll see you guys soon, okay? Bye. Thank you for coming out. See you later. Bye. If you've been here from the start, you're completely ill. And if you're from SEA right now, you're also mega ill. Why the fuck are you awake?